Right, now P8 asks us to collect data and produce statistical diagrams, histograms and frequency curves. So in this lesson we're going to be able to plot frequency polygons and pie charts. Section 1, Frequency Polygons and Pie Charts, on page 4 of the P8 note booklet. A frequency polygon is used to draw a diagram where your data is in groups. We plot the frequencies, in this case number of films, in the midpoint of each of the groups. So the midpoint of 80 to 100 is 90. So from 90 we go up to 12, we mark a cross. Then in the next group, which is 110 to 120, the midpoint is 110 and the frequency is 6, so we go up to 6 and we mark a cross. The next group is 120 to 140, so the midpoint is 130. We go up to 9 and we mark a cross. And finally, from 140 to 160, the midpoint is 150. We go up to 3 and we mark a cross. And then, to make our frequency polygon, we join up each of the crosses with a straight line, which we should use a ruler. However, I am unable to do on this presentation, so I will do my best. So not particularly fantastic, but it looks exactly as a frequency polygon should look, except the lines aren't perfectly straight. So as I said before, a frequency polygon will be used for group data to show the distribution of the frequencies. Now a pie chart should be used for discrete data instead. So again we have the frequencies, and so a pie chart will show the proportion of each section. Now to get the proportion, first of all we'll need to add up the total frequency. So 10 plus 15 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 30. And for each one we need to divide by that 30, so 10 divide by 30, and then we times by 360, because what we need is an angle to be able to plot our proportions correctly in the pie chart, and there are 360 degrees in a complete turn. So 10 divided by 30 is a third, times 360 will give us 120 degrees for our first segment. We do that for each of the frequencies, so 15 divided by 30 times 360 degrees gives us 180 degrees. 2 divided by 30 times 360 we get 24 degrees. And finally 3 divided by 30 times 360 will give us 36 degrees. And a quick check, all those angles should add up to 360 degrees. So 1 and 2 add up to 60, add to the top one 180, 180 plus 180 is 360. Now again, on this PowerPoint I'm not going to be able to use a microtractor properly, but what we should do, you get your protractor and make sure your centre of protractor goes above the centre of the circle, and a line going up to 0, up to the top. We go clockwise around 0, 10, 20, all the way round to 120 for the first one. We mark our line, but again we should use a ruler, and I am unable to. To measure that 120 degrees. and that corresponds to the blue quadrant, so we should label the high chart segment as blue. The next angle is 180 degrees. So 180 degrees will go straight across. And we label that segment as red. Then the next one is 24 degrees, so put our protractor in the centre again. The line going along the line we just drew, we measure 24 degrees. And then we join the centre up to that line. That gives, that one is yellow. And the final segment should be black. And to check that you've done it correctly, you would measure that last black segment to see if the angle gives us the 36 degrees that it should. Now, because mine has not been drawn as accurately as it would be on paper, mine is out. So you want to do it when on paper more accurately than I've been able to do there.